Thank you, Armstrong, and thanks to the management and staff of the Liberia Broadcasting System. I'd like to thank you, members of the press. We are out today due to the massive renovation work within the Charles William Press Hall. By the grace of God, on Thursday, we will see the change where we will have our press conference. We'd like to welcome all of our community radio stations that are relaying on TLBC. I'd like to officially invite the Minister of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism, Honorable Jeremiah Matthew Piah, onto the national podium. Minister Piah.
Good afternoon, and we are outside again. I hope the sound from the generator that the police have called does not interfere much with what we try to communicate here. We will not get tired doing whatever we can to make the ministry to look the way we want it to look. So we've been doing one adjustment after the other in the conference room. And we're doing something we consider would be the further branding of that conference room, which we hope will be ready between the end of today and tomorrow. So by Thursday, we'll go back to the conference room and you'll see exactly what we're trying to do there. It's part of your office as media people assigned here, so whatever we do there is something that you will admire when you see it in the end. So I want to thank all of you. We want to also apologize to you that when we're doing our outreach for the Christmas and holiday season, through some error, our team here did not reach out to you with what we said was going to happen. They have resolved that, so that issue should be taken care of today right after the press conference. The National Infrastructure Conference opened yesterday in Nimba County. The President Piah was there to participate in the opening ceremony. That conference seeks to review all that we've done as a country since our foundation with regards to infrastructure development, and considering that times have changed, to determine what we can do since that long-term process of the way we approach infrastructure development is sometimes taken away, so that we cope with the reality of the 21st century. That's what that conference seeks to achieve. The president was there. He called for people-centered infrastructure development initiative, noting that the prosperity of our country depends on the way we build our roads, the way we build our energy infrastructure, water infrastructure, and other public institutions. So that conference, which runs from the 19th to 2010, in the view of the president, is an initiative that will drive us into 21st century infrastructure development that will be aligned both with the arrest agenda for inclusive development, also for agenda 2063, which is the African Union's development goal, and the sustainable development goal. Some media outlets have been reporting that the president returned the national budget to the legislature. That information is untrue, is misleading. President, what that means is that the national budget is approved and it is the instrument that will be used for the next 12 months to run the country, to take care of our development initiatives, to pay government employees, and everything that is found in that draft national budget. Where those media institutions took the information from, that the president returned the budget to the national legislature, which in a way meant that he would have vetoed the budget. The information is not true. And the actual truth is we have an approved national budget for this fiscal year. We announced the other day that the yellow machines are on their way to Liberia. But the 20th, which is already today's date, we have anticipated that all of the vessels have been loaded with all of the machines. We have no reason to believe that that has not happened. But at the end of the day, we confirm with the Ministry of Public Works that that is the case and that the machines are en route to Liberia. The official time that we mentioned is supposed to be 45 days. We wanted to be on the safe side due to shipping challenges that are delayed most times, things that are meant to be shipped to Liberia. So we gave ourselves 70 days. And by that projection, we said we hope that by March 30th, all the machines will be here. Now, what we seek to do with the importation of these machines is to give a new birth to something that used to happen in the past, where the country had established maintenance zones across the country that were fully equipped. You see, you should ask yourself the question, this country, all the dusty roads have been in the country been there forever. Why is it just in recent times that we realize that those dusty roads made so much that cars would get stuck for sometimes weeks or more? The people just being stranded and finding their way to get out. The dusty roads were bad there before. So the question is, why didn't it happen? That is because during those days, we had the maintenance zones. And those maintenance zones were equipped. And so what they were doing was that they were servicing those roads in a routine manner. And as a result, it was difficult, if not impossible, for any of those roads to spoil. So the reintroduction of the maintenance zone is what informed the purchase of these yellow machines. So we have determined where the zones, what each zone will constitute. And the entire country has been divided into 5 zones. For Zone 1, Zone 1 will comprise Grand Cape County, Bombay County, and Barbaro County. Zone 2, Monserrado, Margili, and Grand Bassa. Zone 3, Bom, Nimba, and Lofa County. Zone 4 will comprise Grand Gie, Sino, and Riverside counties. And Zone 5 will constitute River G, Maryland, and Grand Croix County. Each of these zones are further considered into regions. And the zones that I just mentioned are what we refer to as the maintenance zone, and they'll be constituted into region. Region 1 will be referred to as the Western region. That Western region, of course, comprises the 3 counties that are named earlier: Cape Mount, Bomi, and Buffalo. What are we projecting to be the issues that we're supposed to resolve? The total kilometers of roads, for example, in Grand Cape Mount County, that are now paved roads, but that must be maintained so that it can be accessible and passable year-round. In Grand Cape Mount, the 642.46 kilometers of road that must be maintained all year long. In Bomi, is 454.12 kilometers of road. And in Buffalo, is 542.82 kilometers of road. So, in total, in Region 1, which comprises the 3 counties, we have 1,639.40 kilometers of roads that will be serviced all year long by the availability and deployment of the machines. So Cape Mount, as we said before, we have 1 set of the machine. Bomi will have 1 set, and Grand Cape Mount and Buffalo will have 1 set. So in that region, there will be 3 sets of the machines. What are some of the equipment that will be contained in a set of the machines? They will include front-end loaders, motor grader, bulldozers, backhoe, water browser tank or truck, compactor vibrator, it's called drum in engineering term, excavators, tempo trucks, load bed, fuel tankers, jack hammer, and a series of logistics that are considered as PICK, P-I-C-K. So what that means is that each of the 3 counties in that region will have a set of machines that will comprise the stuffs that I just named, plus additional ones that I didn't mention. For Region 2, we cover the Southwest region. And the Southwest region comprises Maghidi County, Monsolado County, and Grand Bassa County. What are the roads that we want to make accessible and passable in these regions per county? Maghidi will be focused on 607.12 kilometers of roads. Monserrado, 862.69 kilometers of roads. Grand Bassa, 1,336.84 kilometers of roads. What is the distribution ratio? Maghidi, we have 1 set. Monserrado, as we said before, we have 1 set. And Grand Bassa will have 2 sets. Now you see the reasoning behind this distribution. Unlike Monserrado that has 607.19 kilometers of roads, and Monserrado that have 862.69 kilometers of roads that can be serviced by these machines. Grand Bassa, on the other hand, has 1,336.84 kilometers of roads that must be maintained all year long. So what's the total kilometer of unpaved roads in this region, region 2, in the southwest region of the country, that we have to maintain the presence of those yellow machines? There will be about 2,806.72 kilometers of roads to be maintained. And the set is the same as what I listed earlier for the first zone. Then we have region 3. Region 3 is considered central north. And it includes Nimba, Bong, and Lofa County. What are the rules to be maintained by these machines in this region in terms of the kilometers of road? Nimba, 2,118.32 kilometers of road. And they will require 2 sets of the machines. Bong, 1,432.48 kilometers of road, and they will require 2 sets of the machines. Lofa, 1,536.28 kilometers of road, 1,536.28 kilometers of roads, and they will also require 2 sets of the machine. The total kilometers of roads that will have to be taken care of in that region with the use of the yellow machine will be 5,087.08 kilometers of roads in that region. Region 4 is considered the southeastern region, and it comprises Grand Piah, River G, and Maryland counties. The kilometers of road for Grand Piah will be 802.36 kilometers of road, and they will have 1 set of the equipment deployed. River G will be 412.64 kilometers of road, and they will have 1 set of the machine. Maryland will be 378.58 kilometers of road. They will also have 1 set. The total kilometers of road that should be maintained regularly and routinely in the southeastern region will be 1,593.54 kilometers of road. Region 5 is also in the southeastern region. So southeastern region has 2 regions. So the first one I named was southeastern region A. And the second southeastern region is southeastern region B. And it comprises Grand Prix, Sino, and Riverside counties. In Grand Prix, we have 425.97 kilometers of roads to be maintained, and they will have 1 set of the machines. In Sino, will be 618.70 kilometers of roads, and they will require 1 set of the machines. And in Riverside, there will be 847.70 kilometers of roads, and they will also require 1 set of the machines. In total, 1,892.37 kilometers of roads are expected to be serviced, routinely maintained in Region 5. So in total, the kilometers of roads that these machines that have been brought in the country will be used to service will be 13,019.11 kilometers of roads across the country. Now, if you see the scope of what I just read, it tells you that even though this country is almost 180 years, but most of the road infrastructures in the country remain unpaved. It is that problem that the current government is trying to solve with the rapid advancement of road pavement taking place across the country. It should not make you understand why we are working on the Koma to Onjima and from Saranye to Onjima to ensure that that entire corridor is transformed from the dusty road is being to a paved road. It should also make you to understand why we are further advancing the People for Agreement to allow our citizens to drive from the Singapore Bridge all the way up to the boundary between Liberia and Sierra Leone on a 4-lane road. That's why we want to make sure they do similarly from that point up to Clay, and then from Clay to Tottenberg on 2 lanes. And that is why feasibility reports have been submitted to the government that was done by a company free of charge in the country, so that we also ensure the pavement of the road that leads to Buffalo County, because as a country, if we should make progress economically, we can be confronted with over 13,000 kilometers of unpaved roads. So still on roads, we have announced that we are going to initiate our octopus approach on road reconstruction or road development. Then we all see, as a result of climate change, the rains falling. It caused some delay, but it has not stopped work from ongoing. Work has been ongoing. Our late Broadway, for example, the earthwork has been taking place on that road. And they're trying to completely build the drainages and filling, and we ensure that that road is paved before we get to full-time rainy season. So the Minister of Public Works has been making a tour to see how work is going on some of these roads. He visited about 15 sites on the Bush Road Island, which is the road leading to Freeport all the way up to the Singapore Bridge, where it's ongoing. Along the Carway Route, most of the road there were damaged. Most of them pavements have taken place. He went to inspect that in the Broadway community, the Jack Total Town Road, the VOA Road, and all these roads, earthworks are taking place. And according to the Minister of Public Works, they intend to have those roads paved. He also visited Dixville, where road works are taking place, New Georgia, Bassotown, Chicken Soup Factory, SKD Boulevard, the East and West overpass bridges that are taking place along the Tottenham Boulevard, Peace and Paco Islands that will connect those two facilities, not just to SKD Boulevard, but connect themselves to each other, because you could not leave from Paco or from Peace to the other side. That will pass all the way around. They've opened the road. Right now, it's all about earthwork in the dusty portion of it, but the intent is to have it paved so that the people who just can see each other but divided by the lack of road and the swamp cannot just start having access to each other, which they're doing already. As the road work is ongoing, motorcyclists are using that road. Somebody can just jump from Paco Island to Peace Island, from Peace Island to Paco Island up to SKD Boulevard. So these are tangible interventions on road work in the country, which we appreciate as a government, and we remain focused on it. During that tour, there's just one of the roads that the minister had concern with in terms of how slow he has been, and that's the Chikisu Factory. The minister was clear that that road project has been slow in terms of actual commencement of pavement, and he was clear with the contractors. The contractors, QE24, have shown the government that actual pavement on that road will commence by May, February. Also, Also, as it is already known to the public, when the initial buses were brought into the country by the National Transit Authority, we did say that the total number of buses that were being procured were about 60 units, and that the initial ones that came, which were 35 in the country, in use, was the first set. The additional ones, which are mini buses, meant to go into the neighborhood. Those big buses that were brought at 35, applying the major route, Tottenham Boulevard, going to Broadville, the Somalia Drive, some going out of town, Buchanan, Ganta, Bombay, Cape Town. Those places are really accessible by paved roads. But these mini ones will be moving into communities to take people deeper into the different communities instead of them just relying on motorcycles or keke. So the 20 additional mini buses that were meant to arrive in the country, they are all fully air conditioned, they've arrived. Each of them are 18-seater and they are mini buses, and they were supplied by the same supplier, AVK Motors Incorporated. In addition, 5 cargo trucks are expected as the last batch in this agreement to finalize the full arrival. Notwithstanding, we've been told by the National Transit Authority that they are not defining or limiting themselves to these 60 additional equipments that have been procured. These are what was possible within their reach financially. But as time goes by, the government will work towards having more buses, mini buses, etc., cargo trucks, so that more and more people can have access to public transport. We believe that the cargo trucks in particular will strengthen the transport of goods and materials all across the country. Overall, this acquisition highlights the government's commitment to expanding affordable, reliable, and efficient transportation for both citizens and foreign nationals within our borders. On January 18, the Liberia Special Economic Zone Authority officially handed over the Special Agro-Processing Zone, which is located in Grand Parcel, to the contractor, HM&A, marking a major milestone in Liberia's agro-industrial development. The African Development Bank funded project will include site clearing, fencing, power line access, and 4.7 kilometers of access road over an 18-month period. That project should be actualized. The size covers 210 hectares of land voluntarily provided by local communities, resettled under the government's resettlement action plan. The project will create jobs, it will attract investment, it will enhance agro-processing, it will expand export and economic growth for the citizens of Grand Bassa and Liberia alike. The ceremony was attended by national and local leaders who pledged support to transform Grand Bassa into a strategic trade and industrial hub. The initiative reflects the economic zone's mandate to establish investment-ready economic zones as engines of industrialization and sustainable development. The Ministry of Youth and Sports, through its Youth Development Program, has recruited and assigned 249 cadets across public and private institutions, as well as 7 counties for the 2026 National Cadet Program. The institutional assignments are as follows. Ministry of Public Works, 6 cadets. The Agricultural Industrial Training Bureau, 3. National Transit Authority, 5. Liberia Maritime Authority, 6. Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation, 5. The Ministry of Youth and Sports, 11. The National Lottery Authority, 3. The Illusion Logistics, 2. Ministry of Post and Telecommunications, 3. Liberia Telecommunication Authority, 5. The Ministry of Health, 10. National Fishery and Aquaculture Authority, 2. Access Bank, 2. Liberia Revenue Authority, 8. Environmental Protection Agencies, 2. The Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, 6. The Ministry of Justice, 4. The Ministry of Agriculture, 3. Monrovia City Corporation, 4. MVTC, 2. Ministry of Commerce, 4. For assignment in the counties, Grand Bassa got 25 of the cadets assigned, Maryland 25, Lofa 33, Bapolo 15, Cape Mount 25, and Riverside 15. This distribution reflects the government's effort to strengthen youth participation in national development while ensuring county representation. The Ministry of Education has begun stakeholders engagement following the launch of the National Digital Learning Platform. The first section of the engagement brought together Parent Teachers Association, National Teachers Association, and other educational stakeholders. The discussions highlighted how the platform supports early grade literacy and numeracy programs through digital, radio, and TV lessons, and how schools, teachers, and parents can integrate it into daily learning, especially in areas with limited connectivity. This effort marks the start of a nationwide outreach to build ownership, coordination, and local support ahead of the full rollout. The initiative also emphasizes that reforms will succeed when those closer to learners are engaged from the very beginning, so that there is no turning back. We want to emphasize this because the public already got the Executive Protection Agency, which is charged with the responsibility of ensuring the protection of the President, Vice President, and other key government officials. They've noticed that there are former EPS officers that are impersonating to be current EPS officer. The force states categorically that a former EPS officer is just why it is, former EPS officer. And to do anything otherwise is the breach of the law that comes with grave consequences. Because this is security matter, and this is a security unit that is charged with the responsibility to do VIP protection. So they want that those involved should resist, but that the force will do everything in its power to, within the context of the law, deal with, in a very decisive way, those who are attempting to impersonate as EPS officers. We hope that those involved will yield this warning and the consequences thereof be grave. The new new leadership of the airport authority has been making strides on what they can do to improve services at the airport. So the head of the airport for delegation was in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia from the 13th to the 18th of January as a result of an official invitation extended to the management of the RRA and the Green Spring Airfield. The delegation headed by the new managing director, Mr. Honest Borges, and the chief executive, who is the chief executive of the LAA, and Mr. James Morba, manager of the RRA, along with Mr. Abner Yole, who is a port manager at the Green Springs International Airport. And if you would just reflect, Mr. Yole was that Liberian who flew the single-engine plane across the Atlantic into Liberia. He has since been deployed there at the Springfield, so he was part of that delegation. They engaged directly with Ethiopia Airline Group, their leadership, and they also met private investors that are under the canopy of Ethiopia Airlines. The mission focused on exploring opportunities for collaboration in several critical areas, including the provision of comprehensive ground handling services at the Liberia Airport Authority, managed airports, which is Springs and RRA, strengthening cargo operations and logistical capabilities, technical cooperation in maintenance, repair, and overhaul. It's also focused on workforce development through the Ethiopian Aviation University, enhancing airport operation, catering services, and airline support systems. During that visit, the delegation toured key Ethiopia Airlines Group facilities, including their corporate headquarters, their passenger and cargo terminals, their catering hub, their maintenance and overhaul complex, the aviation university, the airline operations center, and other strategic airport operation units. The engagement provided first-hand exposure to the systems, technology, and operational excellence that have positioned Ethiopia Airlines as Africa's leading aviation group. The managing director of our airport summarized and concluded his visit with the following comments. Our visit, quote, our visit to Ethiopia Airlines Group has reinforced Liberia's commitment to building a modern, efficient, and globally competitive aviation sector. The expertise and capacity of Ethiopia Airlines present a unique opportunity for Liberia to strengthen airport operations, enhance service delivery, and expand the nation's aviation workforce. The partnership aligns with the government's arrest agenda for inclusive development and other broader national development goals. The potential collaboration supports key pillars of the arrest agenda, particularly infrastructure development, education, economic revitalization, and tourism. Strengthening Liberia's airport will improve safety, efficiency, and customer experience while enabling greater regional connectivity and economic growth. The LAA will continue technical discussions with Ethiopia Airline Group to develop a long-term cooperation framework that advances Liberia aviation modernization effort. Unquote. met on January 17. The president was in Conakry, Guinea, to attend the inauguration ceremony of President Piah. The event gathered numerous African heads of states, including leaders from Senegal, the Gambia, Sierra Leone, Gabon, Mali, Mauritania, and Rwanda, as well as Nigeria's vice president. Regional and international organizations such as the African Union, ECOWAS, and the African Development Bank also participated. The president's presence highlights Liberia's support for Guinea's transition to civilian governance and reaffirms Liberia's commitment to regional peace, democracy, and stability. Along the sidelines of the inauguration, he engaged with fellow leaders on security, on trade, and cooperation, and also met with Liberians living in Guinea. He congratulated President MOI and emphasized strengthening bilateral and multilateral ties for peace and prosperity. The president was accompanied by First Lady Katumuwa Waka, Foreign Minister Sarah Besco Nyati, and other senior officials of government. And finally, on behalf of the government of Liberia, we'd like to congratulate the football team of Nimba County, the winner of the football category of the National County Sports Meet, and also Mofa County, the winner of the basketball. I believe generally that the county meet was a successful event, and we particularly note and like to commend the leader of the Alternative National Congress, Mr. Alexander Cummings, who joined President Waka during the final match of the tournament, who worked alongside with the president when he moved to have the kickoff, and who the president had the chance to meet briefly behind closed doors to share notes on national governance issues. We look forward to what the county meet does, which is to promote and enhance peace and unity amongst Liberians. We just have to face the fact. I didn't go on the field, but I know what happened there. And even when our national team is playing, the crowd that was at that field, to the extent that people were fainting, fire service had to deploy water tanks to revive people. It sends a particular message that the interest of our people in the county league is strong, and we must do everything to protect the sanctity and integrity of that competition. We also, as a West African nation, want to congratulate the Republic of Senegal on their winning of the African Cup of Nations. We're proud that they represented West Africa well. It shows that African football is in West Africa. So the government congratulates Senegal for being so courageous, for fighting so strongly and so bravely, confronting a home team on home soil and emerging victorious as the champions of Africa. Thank you for your attention.
Do you have any questions?
Folks, you just listen to the Minister of Information, Minister of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism, Josh. The Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism faces today television has been last year at the Ministry of Information generally addressed the media national issues in the country. Thank you. Let's just
I want to know what the public, or it is a recommendation as well. Is your government also thinking of placing sing or stream at the summertime, those people where people who will not be able to enter the complex to watch the game will just be outside and waiting the game to avoid the overcrowdedness of the field and also people fainting on the field.
Mr. Minister, thanks very much for the elaboration section of the issue of the yellow machines. So my question has to do with the operational cost of the yellow machine. Will it be covered by the County Development Fund or the National Government? The operational cost, when it is included, the operational cost, will it be done to
So my name is Jason Malak and I'm report for Mr. All this, I thank you so much for 2 years. The government opportunity that to work and bring this country as a very big force. I thank you for refuting the information that we got back from the president back in the job. One thing we want to know, nobody everyone knows that the project emanates from the executive go to the job and goes back to the second mansion for final period and sign. So as we stand, that's why you refusing the information that no protected from the president go back to the job. As we stand, the budget was projected at 1.2 billion. There were the projected things at 1.2 billion that there was any change in the process.
Thank you. My name is Anthony from State Radio. So my question goes to you. Sure, you read it. So among several national updates that you gave, I just left the famous 77 barracks, and the folks there woke up to the news this morning that the army is ready to occupy their structure. I know several governments have made efforts over the years to, evacuate the people from out there. And lots of them obviously are now, the ones that spoke to are now calling on government because the airport have given them a 14-day they're appealing for more time. So my question here is, since we've had several attempts over the years by several governments, I want to know how intentional are we this time about evacuating the folks from the barracks.
Thank you. My name is Desmond. We're on a report for the Democracy Watch newspaper. My concern specifically is being thrown to the LBS complex, Mr. Minister. Yesterday in the evening, we did a podcast showcasing the progress of that project. And some pages went on the post talk about this thing, about crediting. Well, as a journalist, as an independent journalist, I'm inclined to know that that project would have commenced under the previous administration of the CBC, but due to some other misunderstanding to our diplomatic relations with Ghana, and that project was put on hold. So I'm concerned to know on August 16, 2024, the program of that project, what specific strategy does this government apply to have secured funding from the Chinese government to have that project on construction? Thank you.
All right, good afternoon. I'm Larry SDP. And my question now to the road issue. Because Minister, you made a lot of emphasis on the issue of the road. Last year, if I can recall, you mentioned that there was a tour that you're planning with journalists to take that out so that the public can see the work. How do we see that happening to
Welcome, Minister. My name is Patricia. I will go for starting. My question has to do of last year, we have tribulation within the country concerning a yellow machine arrival, which will have the current president photo on it. I want to know what happened to the yellow machine then, and now you are talking about a new yellow machine will be arriving in the country in March. Thank you.
So folks, those were just a few questions posed to the minister regarding some of the updates that he provided. He's about to respond to them. Let's join him briefly.
every national initiative, including the county league, is subject to improvement. Yes, you read. Every final, in particular, the county league, the stadium is overcrowded. There are instances of people fainting. It should be a concern not just about putting screens so that people can watch again, but we must begin to take very stringent measures to make sure that the number of persons that a fee can take are the ones that go in there, because you have instances of fainting, but who knows? It will extend to somebody dying. I don't believe we should be organizing national events that will lead to people dying. Notwithstanding your suggestion about having large screen deployed at different places that others can go and watch the thing, it's only that we can advance to the organizers through the Ministry of Different Sports. But what we think also is that maybe some project like the idea of being on the football field, because beside the streams, so many different outlets can be broadcasting the game on Facebook. You can sit on your phone and watch it, but maybe there's a different feeling altogether when you're on the field, you're part of the noise there, you enjoy it more, but at the same time, we got to take the safety of people into consideration, and I'm sure as a government we'll take some action to ensure that people are safe, but that more people can watch the game as they want to. Maybe through your suggestion with erecting large screens that people can use. The operationalization of the machines, of course, will be government's responsibility. So I can't say to you now where the money will come from, and the development fund, or for those that have the development fund, where it will come from there. But whatever source of funding that will be targeted to work between the yellow machines will come from government, and they will go through the Ministry of Public Works, because they are the authority in charge of both ensuring the operationalization and maintenance of those yellow machines. I told you at the last press conference, for security reasons, so that people don't abuse those machines. We have engineers in the army. We have a whole battalion called the engineering battalion. They will be involved. And that we believe will enhance the protection and safety of those machines. Mr. Bala, when the legislature sends a budget that they have approved to the president, if the president decides to change anything, it means he will refuse to sign it, note the concerns he has, send it back to the legislature. They will meet in conference. They will have a conference committee that brings together folks from the lower house and the upper house, and they will look at the issues that the president will have. And when they finalize it, they will send it back. What I just explained to you, they didn't say anything like that. So it means the 1.2 billion budget that they submitted to the president was approved. Does that answer your question? 72nd. It will require, your question about whether they're ready to do it now, I believe that the fact that and let me get something clear. They're not acting arbitrarily. That situation at the barrel has been taken to court multiple times, and there's a court decision that grants the ownership of the place to the army. There's no debate about that. It's been time in and time out when the army has requested the availability of the place, because we're trying to improve the living standards of members of the armed forces. We all are aware that Kesani was overcrowded. The living condition there wasn't good. They've been trying to decongest. They took some people there the other day, took them to Alba. The space at 72nd, which is the property, as has been determined by the court, can help to solve much of the problem of the army by reconditioning those structures, or if possible, knocking it down and building new ones, so that members of the army can have the kind of accommodation they need. And for your interview, you said people were not asking that they pay for them, right? No. They were simply asking for time. But they've been asking for time forever. Notwithstanding, they are our citizens, but the army also need a back. So we'll find a way around. And I'm sure it's not going to be there what you saw in the past. Where they can't go by, they can't go by. We're not going to be forceful. That's why you saw the army going there. They just wanted to show their president and say this is our property, we're ready for it. And we hope that everybody involved will cooperate so that we can resolve that matter once and for all. So when we post things, we don't get worried about what other people's comment will be. The LBS broadcast complex for the government is a dream come true. That complex, the story about that complex started under the administration of Ellen Sally. And holding everything constant, it should have come to fruition during the last 6 years. We don't want to go into the history as to why it didn't happen. But as a government, we took charge. Fortunately, it was a period for FOCA. The Liberian government represented at FOCA. I was there. There were bilateral between the government of Liberia, headed by the president, and his Chinese counterpart. We raised a number of issues during that bilateral. We raised the issue about overpass bridge, which was also one of the outstanding issues. We raised the issue about the LBS complex. We raised the issue about the reference laboratory that is now at the 14th Military Hospital. The Chinese government, through their president, informed us that based on the intervention that the president made, they were going to move on those projects and move very quickly. All that you see is that they kept their word. The LBS thing that we're showing is because we've reached a point of just doing finishing touches to do dedication. The same is with the reference laboratory that is also nearing completion, and you see the progress that has been made on the overpass. That's what is important for me. Who goes on the post, who makes what comment, that is inconsequential. That's something for me. Every day when you make posts on social media, even your own birthday post, you might not know here, but you be worrying about that. They will be scared to say, I will not post again. It's impossible. You know, if I was so by mistake see or post that I don't, or comment that I don't get on my page, Facebook is private. If I post on intro from my account, there you go, talk about that there. If I want to delete that post, comment, I will delete the comment. If I want to punish him for it, I will block him. Then you'll never see post from me again. How you solve the problem, you go make it flower. Because Facebook is personal, that's why people who can see you, they call them friends. The man who comes on your post and calls you 24 hours, not your friend. So you don't have to keep that person on your friend list. Block them. Then they will never see the thing that you can put that can make them better. They will never see you again. Larry withdrew the tour. In fact, it's more compelling to do the tour now because we see more expansion of electricity, the roads, so we'll do it. The only thing is I think we'll get a bus now, we'll put in the bus, put all the air conditioner on, we'll power the lamp, we'll come out to the main day with traffic. Nothing else. I think those are all your questions, if I'm not mistaken. So the last time I listened to the Republic of Minister speaking, when the yellow machine story started from the beginning, 35 pieces of yellow machines were brought in the country. Based on a settlement that was reached between we and the people who brought that machine, settlement that did not include any complete payment for it, they agreed that they would take those 35 pieces of machines back. Because we have a different arrangement on which to leave machines account. So there's no issue at all for those initial 35 pieces of machines that came to the country. I hope that answers your question and all the other questions that were asked. We hope that by Thursday, you'll be back in the Charles Leon Hall. And I promise you, when you get back in the Charles Leon Hall, you'll like what you see. We came here with a transformative mindset. But I take few and then you go spy in my office and you think about why the company will be there. And then you know that we intend to be extremely transformative. Even as we don't have money in the current budget for PSRP, we'll start to make some intervention in outside the building during the next budget. You see, when you got resources on your ministry, it's better you work with the Ministry of Finance to say, okay, but if we have money for this, can we use it for this? Do practical things. And that's what I'm concerned about. I'm not concerned about my personal thing because government calls me, they call Danny, or you go here to pay them. But tomorrow, when you're walking out of a place that you're being asked to work, what legacy do you leave behind for yourself? That's how many of us should think. Even you young people, generally, you're still doing a great job. When you have the chance tomorrow to work somewhere, ask yourself this first question. What kind of legacy will I leave when I'm departing the place tomorrow? How will the people who are working here remember me? What will they remember me for? Will they remember me as that leader who came, met one whole rotten baby and left it the same way? Will they remember me as a leader who met us struggling to pay our own way to come to work, or some of our work to come to work and left it the same way? Or will there be a change that will live with them forever? And that's what we're doing. You go right in front of us, you see that brand new pickup there, it's one of the equipment that we're bringing, the transport equipment. It just arrived, go near, you see all the plastic in it. I'm sure before the end of next week, you'll see the second bus with the same size, we're packed also in our same position. I hope, because shipping has been the problem. And you also see the main bus, I think it's 22-seater, that is especially brought for the Liberia National Cultural Troop. It will be customized to be rated on the Liberia National Cultural Troop because the goal is to bring dignity to them. So that pickup and the cultural troop bus will be part of the assets that will turn towards the Liberia National Tourism Authority. That pickup was used for the inspectors in the tourism department. We are going to field. They didn't even have SACOM going to field. So that paper was meant to make sure they can visit all the hospitality sector that they are responsible for and see what is going on there. The tourism authority will use it for the same purpose. And then we'll figure out that we need to lift the spirit of the national culture troop with the purchase of that brand new bus. And because they too now fall under the tourism authority, we look at the authority will respect the fact that they too need dignity. And the bus is specifically for their use, even though one of the authority. I'm glad the team that is here, I'm sure the team itself, one of them, they're proud that we're taking these actions. We're just waiting for the second bus to be here, and we'll operationalize that. We'll be bringing our people to work, taking them back from work, so that whatever money we're spending on transportation, taking it away from the salary that's already not big, they can now use those to do other things for the family. So thank you for coming.
So folks, you just witnessed the Minister of Information Culture, the Minister of Information, in fact, Minister Jerry Matthew Piah addressing several national issues here at the MICAD regular press briefing. Today, the Minister gave several national updates, especially on road connectivity across the country, regarding the arrival of earth-moving equipment in the country in the shortest possible time, among several issues that he spoke about. My name is Anthony Williams. Thanks for watching this video wherever you watch and follow. Bye-bye for now.